All right, Shalom, all praise, honor, and glories to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the fellow laborers out there that's continuing to endure in this work. Now, I want to entitle this lesson, The Stage is Set, Esau is Making His Move. And what I mean by Esau, I'm talking about the chief house of Edom, which is these international bankers, all right? Which is, by the way, a shadow government that controls the whole entire planet. And they have an agenda, all right? And that agenda is to basically persecute you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the children of Israel, all right? And they're using this guy Donald Trump as the puppet to spearhead that whole campaign. Because if you believe that your vote, all right, made a difference in this past election, well, you're fooling yourself, man. All right, this was all set up by the international bankers, the Illuminati, all right, or whatever you want to call them, all right? But this was all set up, Donald Trump being in office, to basically get the ball rolling. That's why you see this guy coming into office, passing all type of legislations. And he came into office basically with his foot on the pedal, man. And just yesterday, he signed an act dealing with the so-called Muslims, all right, in these Arab countries, restricting them to come to the Americas for at least 3 months, I guess, to do background checks or whatever. All right. He also came right out and said he supports torturing, man. He said, but he's going to leave it up to the Secretary of Defense, which is this guy who's nicknamed Mad Dog, who's a straight up racist, man. So you know he's with it. And all these things is confirmation that the men of the Lord, all right, starting with Apostle Tahar and the elders and the teachers here at Great Millstone, is indeed the prophets, all right? Because we've been telling you these things going to come to pass, all right? That you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans is going to be rounded up and thrown in the concentration camps where you're going to be tortured, man, and beheaded by that guillotine. And by the way, the guy Trump came out and threatened to dispatch the feds out there in Chicago, man, which is the area he's talking about is a so-called urban black communities, all right? So all these things you see Trump, pushing is basically the pieces being strategically put together to box off you Israelites, man, all right, and to begin to persecute you, man. Now, you see on the screen, I got a tweet from this guy, Donald Trump, this devil, what he posted a couple of days ago, January 24th, and it says, big day planned on national security tomorrow. And you notice national security is written in bold letters, man. All right, see, these devils is getting ready to come out. They finna stop playing it off with you niggas, man. And they finna stop tiptoeing around, which is ultimately the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. He's getting ready to shake up you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Why? Because you refuse to come back to your nationality. You refuse to hearken to the words of the prophets, man. So the Most High is finna spring into action by way of these devils, which the so-called white man, another word for the so-called white man or term, according to the scriptures, is the Most High sword, man. All right, the Most High is going to use the so-called white man to bring judgment on you Israelites, man. So it says, big day planned on national security tomorrow. Among many other things, we will build the wall. So you see this devil Trump is ramped up in the spirit, which is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. And we support what this guy is doing, because this guy is basically furthering our salvation, man. Because the quicker these devils roll on you niggas and try to, insert that new world order, that's gonna provoke Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah to spring into action, man. So we right here in the middle of this thing. We right here at the cusp of all hell breaking loose, man. All right, so I got an article here. I don't want to ramble too long, and it's a good article, man. I ain't gonna be able to go into all of it. I'm going to a little of it here and there. We're gonna go into some precepts as we're accustomed to do. All right. So let's go into it. A little of it. All right, this is a good article, man. It says some of Donald Trump's most controversial campaign proposals will move one step closer to reality Wednesday, when the president is expected to sign a series of sweeping executive actions on immigration and border security, reportedly fulfilling promises to build a wall on the U.S.-Mexico border, curtailed the number of refugees entering the country, banned immigration from several majority Muslim countries, and cracked down on so-called sanctuary cities. Yep. So everything is about to come into play. All right. No, he's throwing up that smoke screen talking about the Muslims, about the Muslims, Salakia, but all this is geared towards you Israelites. The executive actions are among several planned changes to the U.S. national security policy. See that word national security policy? They finna change things, man. 2017, these cities is gonna begin to be monitored very closely by militant troops. All right. The New York Times reports include potentially designating the Muslim Brotherhood as terrorist organization. Now you see these buzzwords, a terrorist organization, which that's you got to look past that. All right, that's not talking about the Muslims, man. That's going into these different Israelite groups. All right, because they could use whatever word in front of terrorist organization as they want. All right, right now they're saying Muslim Brotherhood, but this trickles down to any so-called organization where the government feels a threat. All right, look, it says, and reviewing whether to resume the U.S. Slovakia, reviewing whether to resume the use of CIA black site detention centers. All right, so you see that the things that the men of the Lord has been bringing out, which a detention center is another word for concentration camp, man. All right, and we've been pushing this, man, for years now. So now it's up in your face. So what you niggas gonna do now? What you scoffers got to say about this? All right. While one draft reviewed by the Times says that no person in the custody of the United States shall at any time be subject to torture or cruel, inhumane, or degrading treatment or punishment as described by U.S. or international law, the draft of another will order a reevaluation of so-called enhanced interrogation techniques, which could include waterboarding. Yeah, so this guy Trump is about to get ready to change everything. Well, at one time they said you can't use torturing techniques. This man is reviewing that, and he's going to change it, man. All right, and everything we said, it's going to happen to you niggas, even you scoffers, man, who talking shit about Great Millstone, but Trump is not going to sit down and distinguish who's who. He's going to take you scoffers right into the concentration camps, man. All right? Now, it's a lot on this article, man, all right? It's at www.vanityfair.com. I advise the Akim to go into it. We're going to go into the scriptures, all right? This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and starting at verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. And that's dealing with the Israelites as a whole, okay? That's not just only talking about men in the truth, all right? Israelites as a whole is those who are considered those that fear the Lord, all right? They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So that's the spirit this guy Donald Trump is in, man, all right? And that Secretary of Defense, Mad Dog, all right, that's this guy's nickname. You see how spiritual that is? The Secretary of Defense nickname is Mad Dog, and the scripture says they're going to be like mad men, sparing none, man. And all this is basically, you know, in the plans of the elites, all right, which, by the way, they've been planning this thing, just like the Apostle Rumlai went into a sitting on that, where these elites basically been having all these things, you know, on the books, man, all right? This is the book of Psalms, chapter 64, all right? Start at the first verse. I started the second verse. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Yep. So the men of the Lord will be hid in that day. All right. Because this secret counsel of the wicked has been going on. All right. But now they're at the times where they about to push it. You know, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Yeah. And that's dealing with these different laws that these elites have set Trump up to pass. All right? Trump is doing the bidding of the wicked, of the counsel of the wicked, man. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. So this is going to happen suddenly. All right, we right here at the door in 2017. Well, you're going to just wake up one morning, there's going to be tanks on the streets, man. All right? They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? All right? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both their inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. Yeah, that's right. So they searching diligently, and this plan has been going on for years and years and years. Now they at the time where they ready to make a move. Why? Because, let me get the scripture on that. One of the reasons they understand that this word has been pushed, and now Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is getting ready to spring into action, man. So they understand that they only have but so much time to fulfill their agenda, all right? This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. And what's that talking about? That's talking about the men of the Lord. Because we are considered as the heavens. Like Yahweh Shai said, the kingdom of heaven is in you. So we are rejoicing right now. These are exciting times, all right? Because we understand that we are closer and closer to our salvation. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. And this scripture is in play, all right now. We're in the time where the devil is coming down with great wrath, all right, and it's spearheaded by Donald Trump. So 2017, get ready, man. Get ready for these martial law troops. Get ready to go into these concentration camps and be tortured, all right, and be beheaded. Thus the scriptures, all right, and the men of the Lord have been pushing this. Now you're going to see it come up close and personal, on a very personal level. So, all right, that's pretty much it on that. Until the next time, shalom.